teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Big time, lot of slime. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Lot of signs, smoky in the air, that's a lot of crime. It's running over with the dollar signs. Try to take it from me. Big time. Damage in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. I'm big time, lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, from me, from me, from me, from me. Big time, number 9. Damage in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. That's a lot of crime. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a Monday edition of the Ysn Power Hour. DJ Yoakley with you. Happy to be joined by you wherever you are in the world. Thanks for joining us here from 3 to 4 right here on your sports network. Okay, so we got a lot to get to today. On the show today from 3 to about 3:30 or so, we're going to have two state champions from South Range. We'll have Michael Lally and Chris Colucci join us here in just a moment. And then at 3:30, we will have the head basketball coach for the girls, Jeff Wilson, who just wrapped his season up, first season under the Wilson era at Austintown Fitch. For the girls, we'll talk to him about how it went, what things he wants to work on going into next year, and just overall the culture of the Austintown Fitch program. But first, we have to get to our final week of the Ysn Power Rankings for basketball, brought to you by Armidas Kachina. And of course, as you know, you can book Armidas Kachina for your graduation party today. Perfect for home graduation parties or any other outdoor setting. Amazing, unique stuffed peppers. That's their famous stuffed peppers, delicious chicken sandwiches, and more. They can even bring a music to your party to turn your party into a party. That's paid for, just so you know. That's what you get when you pay for sponsorship. Visit armidaskachina.com on Facebook or call 330-787-1932. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, this week's Power Rankings. This week's Power Rankings brought to you by Armidas Kachina. Perfect for your graduation party. If you're looking to make a splash this graduation season, make sure you book Armidas Kachina at armidaskachina.com. Final week of the Power Rankings, and here we go. Salem finishes atop the board with a 16-4 record. Howland climbs up 1 to take over that 2 spot at 18-6. West Branch Falls 1, 17-5. Louisville finishes their season at 15-7 in our 4 spot. Then it's Waterloo climbing the charts from number 7 to number 5. Canfield also climbing now, 16-6 at the number 6 slot. Then you've got Poland, Liberty, Springfield, and Garfield rounding out the bunch. So let's take a look at the boys now in the final week. Camel Memorial clinches their top spot for the rest of the year. with a final record of 19-1, followed up by the Springfield Tigers 20-0 in the 2 spot. East Liverpool slips one down to 3 at 17-4. Louisville, with a couple impressive victories, find themselves in the 4 slot. Cheney makes a big jump from number 9 to number 5 at 13-7. Heartland Christian, highest they've been so far, from 7 to 6. Liberty down to number 7 at 15-5. Louisville still impressive at number 8. Carter Mooney back on the board, and Boardman finishes in the top 10. The Power Rankings brought to you as always by Armidas Kachina. Make sure you get your graduation party booked now. Make sure you book those graduation parties. And a guy that we're going to see here in just a moment is going to be graduating, but not without making a big splash first. The South Range Raiders. There was a lot of teams, Los Angeles Rams, that had a big weekend, but none bigger than the South Range Raiders this past weekend, winning their first ever state championship in wrestling, and they did it the right way. So at this time, I welcome in 2 of my good friends, guys that I love talking to and love rooting for even more, Michael Lally and Chris Colucci. Just getting out of class, guys, so thanks for taking some time for us.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having us.
You got it, man. All right, so I'm going to walk you through where I was from our standpoint. I was getting ready for the Salem game, the Salem basketball game. Was running a little late because I was watching your stream of your championship, I don't know, exhibition that you guys were putting on. So you guys had a nice lead from what it looked like, and then all of a sudden things started kind of turning around, and made everybody nervous. And then all of a sudden, Chris, I want you to walk me through this because it was a slow start to your match that actually ended up winning it. You guys were kind of jostling around. You know, there was a lot of back and forth, and all of a sudden he went for an escape, and you took advantage, never looked back, got the pin, and brought home the state title. What was going through your head as that match was going on?
So before the match, one of our assistant coaches, Frank Giordano, he before all the big matches, like last week from Wayndale, like you guys all saw that reaction, but he told me to get in that zone. All I see when I get into that zone is tunnel vision, and I just see what's straight ahead of me, and I'm just locked into my match. And when it was going out 0-0 the first period, and he chose bottom, I like that because I think I'm a good top. I'm like good on top. And when he went to go to sit out, he sat right on his butt, and I went over top of him and pinned him. And it was crazy. It was just something weird. And actually one of our head coach, Dave Markulin, he told my dad, which is another coach, he said that Chris is going to catch him and pin him. And I did. And it was the atmosphere was crazy. Our fans were crazy. Everyone was going crazy. It was awesome. Me and this big dog over here, we grind all week, and it's awesome. It's really, really special.
Now, it was funny because, I mean, I'm learning about wrestling. You guys are teaching me as we go here. But listening to the announcers, you know, they said that your program was organic. When they're talking about that, you guys, this was your 4th year that you've been really knocking on the door since you guys were freshmen, really. Michael, and since you were in 8th grade, Chris, talk about how much this program has grown in the short time that you guys have been around it.
Just from when we were all the way, like when we were in grade school, this program has just been crazy. We were in grade school. We were always the junior and senior class, and then the sophomore and freshman. We're all just one big happy family. The junior and senior class have just been rising through the whole entire program with each other, and it's just finally paid off. All these hard-working years of wrestling together, working hard, working in the wrestling room hard. It's just all finally paid off to winning the state title.
And Mike, I don't want you to go without talking. So you were the guy that got the pin last week that I think when the celebration started at South Range, it registered on the Richter scale because you guys were so amped up about it. You hit that pin, you got your team to state, and then Chris got the pin to win state. How cool of a moment was that for you, Michael, when everything was resting on your shoulders last week? And as a heavyweight, we heard Coach Markulin talk about it yesterday at the celebration. A lot of times you guys aren't really needed. The match is won by, the time they get you to the heavyweights. what was it like to have that pressure on your shoulders and to be able to, because you're an offensive lineman, defensive lineman, you never really have that moment in the limelight. You had it and you took advantage of it, and now you're state champion.
There's a lot of pressure during that. I know Friday night's a little bit different. It's everyone looking at the team, but last week it was just me and the opponent I'm going up against. It was a lot of pressure, but being able to come out on top during the win yesterday, last week, and knowing that we're going to the state duels, it was a huge relief for me. And seeing the reaction that my teammates had or the community, it was amazing, and it really boosted like my point of view on the team. Like, I love my team. We love each other. We always want to do the best we can, and we're always going to support each other throughout the whole way.
And I think the best thing that I saw this past week was yesterday in the freezing cold. You had a ton of people kind of just hanging around for you guys coming back from Versailles. And Chris, I think your mom had the video on the bus, and then we had the video that was bringing you guys in. So it was really cool to see kind of put those together in real time and kind of match them up. The anticipation that was happening with you guys on the bus, you didn't know what to expect. You know, it's been a few years since the state championship in baseball, but you guys, it was the same exact route. You came back and came through, and there was a group of people, like a big group of people waiting for you. You had people with signs. You had a guy with his chest painted in frigid temperatures. Talk to me about what was going through your mind when you pulled into that parking lot yesterday.
I think we were all just like really excited because we usually don't get a lot of talk about wrestling. But after winning the championship and we're come pulling into the parking lot and we see everybody there, the escort from the police, it was amazing. And we thought it was absolutely fantastic that we now know the community truly does care about us. And we really hope they continue to do it next year and the year after that. And the juniors right now, like Chris, they deserve the support too, because they've been on this team for 4 years, 5 years, even more through youth, and they deserve the best they can get.
I think it was phenomenal that you guys, it's funny to get you on the same time because Michael is on one end of the excitement spectrum and Chris is on the complete other end. Michael comes off the bus just normal yesterday, like you were getting off the bus to go, after school. Chris comes flying off the bus. Like, I think you missed your mark because I was right there. You went completely around me. You had your phone. You were all ready to go. You're the social media and the social butterfly of this group. What was it like for you, Luch, to come off that bus to see it? You were giving hugs out like they were kisses on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, it was awesome. I remember coming off the bus. We all let all the seniors go out first, and they all went off, and then my nutcase ran right out of the bus. And I remember all the seniors took the route in front of you, and then I went around you, and you videoed me as I went around screaming, yelling. It's awesome. Like, this team is amazing. Like, they let me be that talkative, that crazy kid on the team. They all love it. They just we're joyful. We're a big happy family, and they let me be that crazy kid that I want to be. They're not all like, no, come on, Chris, can't do the. No, like we have fun. We're a big happy family. I'm a nut. After the state match, I was screaming, I was hollering everywhere. It was absolutely crazy.
It's a perfect segue into my next question because I was going to ask you, does wrestling allow you to be more of who you are than the other team sports? I know football, Coach Yeagley has you guys coached up and you walk out as one. There's no single digits on that uniform for anybody. But wrestling allows you to be a little bit more of yourself, your own character, correct? And what is that character of who you are? I mean, I'm a wrestling fan from a WWE standpoint. And I always say that whenever you guys start swinging chairs, I'll be able to announce it with the best of them, like good old JR. But until then, it's a learning process for me. Do you guys, do you think about like walk-up music and finishers and stuff like that? Do you have that stuff in wrestling? Do you have that go-to move for yourself that you kind of characterize yourself under?
Yeah, this year, one of our seniors' ideas was to we got walkout songs, and we made we had there's like a gym area where we keep all of our stuff, and like we stand in there and we play music and walk out and we run out of the big tunnel, and like that's something we do. And like big moves that like we like go-to moves, or like, you know, like I'm a favorite of a bar. Lally's bigger, he likes throws, just what he does. It's just, wrestling is just so exciting, and it's finally getting like it's finally getting recognized the way that we all want it to be as wrestlers, and it's really great. It's great.
Let's talk about your coaching staff for a little bit, guys. You know, I got, obviously, Coach was addressing the crowd yesterday. Grandpa Newell, is that what his name is?
Yeah,
Yep.
Grandpa.
All right. So let's talk about that right off the jump. Grandpa Newell wrestles with you guys, gets down, 67 years old, gets down with you guys and wrestles. Talk to me what that's like. And the first time ever somebody tells you that you're going to wrestle a 67-year-old man in practice, what was going through your mind?
Technically, we don't want to go hurt him and stuff, because
No,
we still need him to coach. But
we don't want to. We don't want to hurt him. He hurts us.
yeah, he does hurt us a lot.
He shows us moves that put us through pain, and it's the only way we can learn it. That's the best way. That's how he coaches.
It's always about, it's his famous saying, it's all about pressure, and you want to inflict as much pain as possible. And he does inflict a lot of pain onto us while we're drilling, showing us the moves, and it hurts. I'm not lying. And as soon as we go back over to the wrestling room, he's probably gonna put us through some more pain or let us rest, one of those two. But he came here to help us 2 years ago, and it was just a learning process. And then last year, we were he was just testing us, seeing what we can do best. And then this year, just a full out grind, getting better. It's definitely been showing, and it's just, me and Chris are like truly happy for that. He's still here with us, and he's still coaching us, and he's always in that chair coaching us during the matches.
Yeah, I can't thank him enough. He's just been the best. Like, he's been awesome. He's because like we all have coaches that coach certain things, and like we have a lot of coaches on our coaching staff, and all of our coaches are like, all right, pick what coaches you want. And Grandpa Noel is always in our corner for all the upper weights. Grandpa Noel is like we're used to hearing his voice, and like on the mat we hear his voice, and he's just great coach. He's an awesome guy. We love him to death.
He's a very, very fun guy in that room, and he's helping us as much as possible. And he said this to us the one time, and me and Chris were like, got like the big smiles. He's like, you know, you two are one of the best like upper weights I've ever coached. You guys are the best, the funniest, and you guys are just a family, and I love it.
Well, you are a family, and I think that's the one thing that is straight through. And when people talk about South Range, is it is an unbelievable family of support. There were people out there that didn't have a dog in the fight from a wrestling perspective yesterday, and we're out in the freezing cold just waiting for you guys to come back to congratulate you. There's people all over YSN. You see Mike Bartos right here says, congratulations, Raiders, big time accomplishment. Are you guys fully able to put this in perspective about what a state championship means to not only this program, but to your school?
It really didn't settle in until coming home yesterday, seeing our community, seeing all like the administration, like seeing Mr. Farron, Mr. Rowan, Mrs. Carlson. Just big thanks to them, because without them, we wouldn't be in this situation. Miss Rosen, one of the English 12 English teacher, she is a big supporter of the wrestling. She helps us out a lot. We talk to her about anything we need help with. She's awesome. And it really has, it's settled in now that we're back in the school, and then we came back yesterday and seeing the whole community. Yep.
All right, Mike, let's talk about this senior class, because at the end of the day, you guys get to wrestle Thursday at home. It's going to be on YSN, but you guys have something very interesting that when I was talking to my wife about the whole scenario, you get to keep going. You get to keep wrestling. Most times when you win a state championship, it's a walk-off opportunity. Like, you don't get to go back on the field or the mat or the court or whatever it may be and keep performing. You, as a senior, get to go out one more time in front of your home crowd. And I know you're very excited about getting as many people as you can there on Thursday to send this team out the right way. First, I want you to talk about why it's so important to you to fill that gym, to pack the Thriller Dome on Thursday night. And then I'll follow up with how important this senior class has been to this wrestling program. You talk about yourself and Ray and Marculin and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. And Shorty, let's start with this one. Let's start with, how important is it to you to fill that place with burgundy and gold on Thursday night?
It's really, really important. I mean, like the amount of work we put through to even make the state championship was tremendous, and a bunch of teams are doing what we do, but we are pushing forward. We always want to do the best, and we want to show what we can truly do in front of our home crowd and let them know that we are the best. And this is why we want the state championship, and we want as many people to see it as possible in person, and we want them to like actually feel what it feels like to be in that atmosphere and on how we react during a win and how we react. And I think it'd be really great for parents or like the community to come watch us and how we perform in person.
So in your mind, when you look out, when you're standing on the mat on Thursday night for the last time, in the Thriller Dome, what do you want to see? What do you want to see all around you? Just to see a burgundy and gold?
I just want to see the stands packed, people cheering, people clapping. I just want to see people there watching us, not from like TV, but like in person. So I know that, okay, they're using part of their time to come watch me, and they're coming to watch and the other seniors and the actual team. And it'd be great. And just like football, like my senior night was amazing. I loved it. And I wanted to kind of feel like that Thursday. And I think that'd be amazing.
All right, we're going to go crossfire here to offer that question that I planted before I let you kind of go at it a little bit. Mike, talk about what you want to leave for a legacy for the rest of your teammates here, your underclassmen, the juniors, all the way down to freshmen, all the way down to, the kids that are looking to join the program in the years to come.
So what I want to leave a legacy is like, don't always have fun while you're there. Don't always think it's 24/7 to straight work and work and work, and have a little bit of fun. Like me and Chris have a lot of fun sometimes. And then me and a bunch of the seniors are just always together, like either talking, but don't always like think it's work. Like you can have that time to have fun with your friends and your family, but once you step on the mat, it's go time. Like no messing around. You go out there and do your business, and then when you're done with that mat, either cheer on your teammates or go celebrate with your coaches.
All right, Chris, on the other side of that, how do you feel about this group of seniors that are soon to be leaving the program? I know both of you guys are multi-sport athletes, so it's twofold, tenfold, really, if you think about it, because you guys have been together seemingly at the hip since birth. But when you think about it, Chris, what does this group of seniors mean to you, and how much is it going to pain you to see them go?
It's going to pain me a lot. The senior class, they are the best group of leaders I could have ever asked for. Like Michael Marculin, Raymond Smeal, they are great leaders. They push you to your limits in practice. Logan Cormel, Shorty, we sometimes me and him want to kill each other, but he pushes me, I push him, we push each other great. Michael Lally, we drill each other all the time. We're teammates. We mess around a lot, but we still love each other. He makes the best out of me during practice. And Clayton Kramer, great kid, great athlete, great kid, amazing leader. He always is looking to help the younger kids. Gavin Pahanish, he's a stud animal. He's also another phenomenal leader. All the seniors are phenomenal leaders. Cooper Cleveley, he's a great kid. He's awesome. Love Cooper to death. Cooper's gonna be special.
He'll be the next Rocky.
Yeah, he's gonna be the next Rocky. But this whole senior wrestling class, they are tremendous. They are tremendous. They are the greatest leaders I could have ever asked for as a senior class for wrestling. They've been awesome.
Awesome answer. Very, very cool answer. All right, the last question for both of you guys. We alluded to the fact that you guys not only are wrestlers, but are multi-sport athletes. How has wrestling helped you with other sports and vice versa? I know a lot of people, there's mothers out there that are saying, there's no way I'm going to sign my child up for wrestling. He might get hurt or she might get hurt. How has wrestling helped you in other sports? Chris, we'll start with you, and Michael, you can wrap it up for us.
Wrestling has helped me tremendously in football, and vice versa. They both go hand in hand. I think you both got to be in an athletic stance, and it's just different positions that you're in. Gravity, the feel of sports is a big thing, and if this isn't if winning a state title isn't like showing like parents that want to get their kids out there in the program, 100% like get your kid into wrestling. Wrestling is, you'll use wrestling forever in your life. You'll always have a back like history of it. Wrestling's awesome. Like I did it since I was kindergarten. I think you did it when you were in kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we both did it forever. It's an amazing sport. It's good condition, you'll be in good shape. And it goes in hand with so many sports. And there's kids that play football, that's their main sport, that come out for the wrestling team just to stay in condition and just help them go hand in hand. And so we have some of our, like Logan Cormel and Jake Sarkey, both great linebackers, and they both wrestle. It's just, they go hand in hand, tackling, double leg takedown. It's just great sports that go hand in hand.
Mike, how about you?
It's definitely something that you should be doing, especially to like all the parents watching. You have your son wrestle. It helps so much, and the amount of dedication that your son will put in to be the best wrestler will help him tremendously in any sport, in any aspect of life too. Like I know I'm playing football in college, but wrestling has helped me throughout my whole season, just going from getting faster, being conditioned, but then also like your morale. Like when you're on that wrestling mat, it's only you performing. What you do reflects on what happens during your match. But when you're in like football or basketball, it's not always about you, it's with your team. So when you're on that field or when you're on that court, you feel a little bit more, you feel used to people watching you. But while you're wrestling, it's completely different, and that just helps with everything. And once you start wrestling, you don't want to leave it. There are hard times to point, but it is by far the greatest thing to do as of right now, because it just helps with everything.
All right, last question. I lied. We still have a minute. To wear that burgundy and gold, to have a state championship, only the second team state championship in school history in the 52, 53 years that South Range has been around. To be able to etch your name in history the way you gentlemen did, and your teammates as well, 25 of you, I believe, is the number that they've been throwing around, and of course your coaches. What does that mean to you? I mean, I know we talk a lot about legacy and we talk about leaving your mark at South Range, but to know that in the next 50 some years, hopefully this is the beginning of what you guys want to have it as a dynasty. Chris, you'll be able to continue it next year, hopefully with your teammates as a senior. But Michael, you really have blazed a trail here. What does it mean to you to be able to do it as a South Range Raider?
As a senior, I think it was a dream come true. I mean, being able to accomplish something so amazing, especially during my last year of high school, I think it's amazing. But then also takes a step towards the juniors or the sophomores or the freshmen and even the eighth graders, that just making it to that state tournament now is not enough. You want to win the championship every single year now. It's going to make the kids and all the athletes try and do even better so they can accomplish what my class did and then what our team did together.
Luch?
That's kind of crazy. You're talking about history, and we were all just chilling in our hotel room after we won the state title. We were all playing Madden, and we were just laying there like, what did we just do? We just won a state title, and there's going to be a banner in our gym that's going to say Wrestling State Champs 2022, and it's just always going to be there. And it's just crazy to think about, like, we made history and what this team can accomplish and what can we accomplish. It's awesome. The history with this team is insane.
Well, the history is going to be beautiful, but the future is even going to be even brighter for you guys. Thank you so much. Congratulations 1,000 times over. So proud of you guys here at YSN on behalf of all of us. Thank you for a great ride this season. It's not over yet because we'll be there Thursday, Mike. I promise you. We'll be there Thursday. We'll cover your signing day with Mount Union tomorrow. Congratulations there as well. So we'll have another conversation with Michael Lally. Luch, keep it going in the weight room, man. You're only going to get bigger, and better and badder, dude. You are the future of YSN, my friend. I can't wait to the day that we get you all signed up because your personality shines through on both ends of the camera, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
You got it, boys. Congratulations to the South Range Raiders. We'll see you boys later. And man alive, two of the best. Those guys really, not just those two, the entire South Range group of wrestlers. They talk about the room. They work so hard. And, you know, one of the things that I'm so proud of is their hard work paying off, because it's easy to win those big ones. It's easy to win those ones where you're ahead. You know, I think it was 27-6 or something like that when I turned it on at one point, and then it creeped up and creeped up and creeped up. And Edison was almost, you know, to the point where they're going to take the lead. And all of a sudden, you know, they say, boom, it's over. Colucci takes over, and really that pin, I was going bananas in my basement. I was in the man cave watching it on the big screen, and I was going bananas because, you know, it's funny because where we're at YSN, you root for these kids and everything they do. Chris Colucci's been a big supporter of YSN, as has Michael Lally, as have their families. And it was a really surreal moment yesterday to see their families nearly in tears when they got off the bus for a state champion. That's one of the best parts of my job is to be able to cover those great moments that hopefully will last forever. So when those guys, believe it or not, they'll be 37 one day too, like I am, and they'll be able to look back on this great run and really, really appreciate what the hard work that they did when they were 17, 18 years old was able to do, and what they were able to accomplish. So we will take a break. When we come back, we will have the head basketball coach of the Austintown Fitch Lady Falcons, Jeff Wilson, join us. We'll talk about his season, the best in 3 years under his first year on watch. So we'll talk to him about that, the culture of the Falcons, and a lot more right here on the Ysn Power Hour when we take a break by these great sponsors right here.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Working with your family can be stressful at times, but because they're family, you know that you're going to get a loving, honest answer, even when things don't make sense, to any problem. Dealing with Medicare can be confusing and overwhelming. That's why here at Myers Family Insurance, we do our best to give you honest and caring answers to all of your questions. Family, like Medicare, isn't always perfect, but when you put others first, the results can be amazing.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
Storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk Futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Notice we'll have scattered showers on Thursday.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Hi, this is Tommy Clem, owner of WRS Insurance Solutions.
WRS Insurance Solutions is a local independent agency that specializes in life, Medicare, long-term care, and disability products. Call us at 330-953-3722 or visit us at wrsinsurancesolutions.com to learn more.
Good luck to all the student athletes in the Valley.
It means the world to me to know that what we're doing is impacting people. And whether it's simply, I got to watch my son or daughter when I was out of town, or we just love watching YSN, we love what you do for our son or daughter. So whenever someone says thank you or someone is appreciative of what we're doing, it tells me everyone at YSN is doing what we initially set out to do, which is shine a light on these athletes and help them kind of promote themselves. My name is Anthony Hartwig, and my sports network is your sports network.
Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the YSN Power Hour for this Monday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you out there. While we're waiting for Coach Wilson, I think there were some technical difficulties. Oh, he's popping up here. We'll talk about the Super Bowl a little bit later. But as we wait for Coach Wilson to pop in, what a Super Bowl it was, and I think the biggest takeaway from last night was people going bananas over the halftime show. I mean, you were either too old or too young. It was like it was really like listening to Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I mean, I've heard older people say that it was garbage. I hear younger people say, "Who is that?" And then there's that nice medium in between. That was the best halftime show they'd ever seen. I'm still on the fence about it. I've watched it twice now. Pretty good. But it's one of those things that was it really that good? We'll find out. But all right, we're going to try to welcome in Coach Wilson here. I'm seeing a black screen, Coach. Can you see me?
I can see you.
Like the lights are out over there in Austin Town Fitch. It's crazy. Well, we'll go on. The show must go on. We'll see if we can get it fixed in the midst of it. But nope, still black. And now I don't think I can hear you, maybe.
Well, I'm trying my phone, DJ.
Okay. We'll get you back on here. As Coach tries to get it taken, we've had some technical difficulties. I think StreamYard's having some issues today. So what I enjoyed the halftime show. I'm not ready to say it was the greatest of all time. I like the Prince halftime show. I really enjoyed the Bruno Mars halftime show. Even the Justin Timberlake halftime show wasn't half bad. Bruce Springsteen was pretty doggone good. And I don't know where I'd put it in amongst all of those. It was good. It was entertaining. That's what you want a halftime show to be. But we're dealing with, I feel like we're always dealing with these. I mean, everything has to be the greatest of all time. Everything has to be the best. Everything is measured on a scale that doesn't exist nowadays. We can't just enjoy things for what they are and be in the moment. We have to compare them to, everybody was comparing Joe Burrow to Tom Brady up until last night. And now everybody's saying Joe Burrow's a joke. Like, there is a gray area in between that it's okay to be in. It really is. I mean, not everybody's going to be the greatest of all time, and not everybody's going to be the worst of all time. There is a lot of in between that you can deal in. So I'm interested to hear your take on how you like the halftime show. Jeff Howard saying the dynasty and we are back. I'm interested, Jeff. Who are you taking right now? Who are you? Well, you were with Nevada. I think you were with Florida at some point. Let's go here. Coach Narduzzi says it was all right as a fan, but of Motown, it's not real music. I can respect that. But I don't think Motown. Closest you're going to get was Bruno Mars, I think, to a Motown type halftime show. And again, I really think that he's an entertainer, put on a good show. But when you have to do those collabs, it's tough because you don't get the whole flow thing, because then you're relying on other people to help, right? To carry the weight. We're waiting on Coach Wilson. I'm looking at the screen, still black down there. So I'm texting him, having some issues technically. So unfortunately, we might have to just have an audio interview with Coach Wilson and make do with it. We'll try to bring him on here. Coach, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Do you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Maybe let's do a.
I'm so sorry. I don't know why it's black. I have the lights on and we're good. So I don't know what's going on, but that's okay.
Well, let's do an audio interview. What do you say?
Hey, whatever you want to do. That's all right.
Coach, a good friend, first and foremost, and you've been one for quite a long time since we started YASN. In your first, hey!
Wait a minute, I think I figured something out.
I see it.
Look out. Now if I can figure this out.
There we go.
This thing's crazy, so bear with me.
We got you sideways. This is what you call live broadcasting.
Sorry.
I love it.
This thing's nuts. Well, I'm one of those old people you're talking about the halftime show.
Did you like the halftime show?
It was entertaining.
See that, but that's what you're going for, right? You just want
sure.
entertaining.
Sure.
Sure. Well,
yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, that's not really what I'm into too much, but
all right, dream halftime show for you. Who's in it?
Bon Jovi. Never been on it, and that's crazy to me.
JB Jovi, the greatest poet of all time.
You're not kidding. That's my favorite guy. Yeah.
Have you seen him in concert?
8 times.
Oh my goodness, you're a VIP.
Yeah, I've even
best seats.
Las Vegas, many places to see him. Yeah.
What's the best seats you had for a JB Jovi concert?
My wife and I the last time in 2017 or 16 or 17. We saw him. We had 4th row, so that was awesome.
Oh, man,
that was awesome.
You were living on a prayer.
I was.
I love it.
Sorry, the lighting's not the best here.
It looks fine. You're great.
Okay,
you're great. Not everybody gets these great studio lighting jobs like we have at East Palestine. So with our flickering lights. So
Stream City, yeah.
Stream City, that's right. Coach, first off, an unbelievable year for you. When you look back at the past 2 years, you from last year you almost tripled the output of wins that the program had in your first year. I know that every coach is going to sit there and say, yes, this is what we expected. But the reality of the conversations that you and I had, you were expecting, just to get what you could out of this season. And I think you did a wonderful job. And I don't want to say salvage because that's not the right word, but you absolutely coached to the potential of all your players and really, really dripped them to the last drop of their talent. So kudos to you. And talk to me about the obstacles that you had to overcome this season.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. The girls I know will appreciate that. And, I mean, every girl was back that was pretty much every girl that was back as a key member. We had a few back. At the beginning of the year, no, I didn't expect that the girls would win 14 games. I'm not going to lie. But that's all on them. I mean, they bought in and, they did. We drew everything out of them, but they gave everything they had. And unfortunately, our first tournament game didn't go the way we wanted. But that's, you play those games and, what we need to work on in the off season, just as we always do with skill work and everything like that. But in addition to that is working on getting stronger, which we have a great strength and conditioning coach, Dan Wedding, and just the physicality, matching physicality with teams. Sometimes we would get out rebounded. We're not the biggest team, so we need to get more physical, and that's my job, is to help them along in that respect.
The culture of this team when you came in was one of just hoping not to lose, and I say that respectfully. 14 wins this year. You went from a team that hopes not to lose to a team that was craving the win, and it showed. I mean, some of these games, watching your team during the Boardman game, one of the last games of the season, just strong. Yeah, I mean, strong. Watching Zeta mature over the course of the year, we thought maybe she had tapped her full potential last year, and she's averaging 18 points this year as not only a leader on your team, but a leader in the community, a leader of all of our schools here at YSN with 18 points a game. Talk to me about how you built that culture in less than a year.
Well, putting into work. The staff put in the work. The kids, sure as heck, put in the work. And, Zeta got shots up every day. Just repetition, just, hard practices. And, sometimes they may not like it or, they may complain about it. But, if I wasn't doing that, then I wouldn't be doing my job. And you take Zeta, going from 13.5 points as a sophomore to 18 points as a junior, hitting 70-some threes. Or, Ayla Ray, she averaged 2.5 points a game last year. She went up to 10 and led us in rebounding, steals, assists, charges taken, and in a bunch of categories. Or even, Kara Perone almost tripling her points per game. that's them. They come in, they put in the work, they trust the staff, and know we have their best interests at heart. And they did a phenomenal job buying in, and then we had some freshmen come in to contribute, and that's a good recipe, and they're all coming back next year.
And that's the key, is they're coming back. You have these returning players that you can build off of. 14 wins. Does that excite you? Does it challenge you? What was I don't know if you had your exit meetings yet. Obviously we're only on Monday, but what's the tone of going into 2022, 2023 with this Austintown Fitch girls basketball team?
Yeah, we have our exit meetings tomorrow and Wednesday, and I'm basically, this is a huge summer. Obviously you want to do better every year, and that's going to be tough. Our schedule's going to be tougher next year. We're in the South Range Christmas tournament with Marlington and Green, and West Branch back on the schedule, Salem back on the schedule, not to mention our conference. So that's going to be tough to replicate the number of wins we had, but that's what you do. And basically, your shot improves in the summer. You win in the summer, and we competed in the conference this year, and next year we want to challenge for the conference. And we have the most returning players, and I don't think that's a bad goal to have for next year.
Have you been able to fully just kind of take a step back and look at what you've done and what your team has done and your program has done over the last 9 months, 10 months, however long it's been since the official hiring, Jeff, and say, wow, look what we did. But you also kind of raise that bar to now people expect you to triple your output from this year going on to next. Have you been able to kind of step back and look at what awaits you in the next 3-4 weeks?
No, not really. We just take it one day at a time. I wish we could have performed better Saturday and still been in the tournament, but now's the time to do our exit meetings and enjoy some all-star stuff, and and spend time with my kids. And then March 14th, will be our 28 days, and we'll start on skill work and getting shots up and open gyms, and get after it and get better. And, that's what it takes. You look at the teams in our conference like Canfield or Howland, those girls aren't great players because they sit around. They're great players because they put in the work, and the coaches put in the work. And if we want to get to that next step, that's what we need to do.
I think one of the coolest things about the whole story is the fact that you're in the building. You've been in the building for a little while. You know these girls, right? You knew them before you were able to coach them.
A lot of them,
officially. Yeah. So when you got the position, and I don't think maybe somebody asked you this, but it wasn't on this network. When you got the position, was it easier to be able to know what you had with the character and the personalities going into the season and being able to control them because you knew them and there was already kind of a built-in trust?
Yeah, a little bit. I had some of them in class, like Zeta I had in class, and a few others. And then some of them I know their families, from having siblings or just from being at AMS. So the relationships were kind of there. And then, Mr. Wilson and Coach Wilson are a little different, so that took a while, and going from boys to girls took a little bit of adjustment. But I think now they know the staff has their best interests at heart, that, if we get on your case, it's just, we're pushing you to be better and do better. And we wouldn't do that if we didn't see the potential in you. And that's part of being a competitor, is taking that constructive criticism and building upon it.
I like this question that comes from Chris Sigler. How do you handle the ever-rising issues and problems of keeping numbers where they are and sometimes increasing them if you can, while encouraging the girls to participate in other sports?
That's a great question, Chris. It's we do encourage girls to play other sports. Like I told them in the locker room after the game, we'll be coming to see you in softball or track or AAU or whatever it is you're getting into now. And, for the most part, I think most coaches in our district do a great job sharing and promoting the other team's sports. And, I can only speak for myself, but we certainly do that. I think, in high school, I only played basketball, and that's what God gave me the ability to do. If you have talents, you're young once, use your talents.
So I love the fact that you're able to sit there and talk to your team about the trust and build that trust and trust me, trust the process. That I know that was big for you this year. When you look back now, did you have buy-in at the beginning, or did you still have to kind of earn that trust along the season?
You still got to earn some of the trust in the season. When a new coach comes in, I think that there might be some maybe hurt feelings if maybe you're not playing as much as you did under the previous staff. If you're not playing as much varsity as you did last year, or you're splitting time or whatever. But at the end of the day, that's my job to evaluate. Coaches coach and players play, and and that's our job. And if to me, I'd want an honest opinion. I wouldn't want anybody selling me a bill of goods. But I think for the most part, there was buy-in. Especially in roles. That if you have a jumper but you're not a great jump shooter, you should make the extra pass, or you should attack, or you should be a star in your role. And I think for the most part, most girls bought into that, and actually all of them. I never really had to tell somebody, hey, one more, pass one more, without saying don't shoot the ball. Most girls we had to tell to shoot the ball more. But yeah, I do, and I appreciate the girls for doing that, and and the staff too. And so yeah, I think there was the buy-in was there.
So we always talk about the girls and what they learn naturally, because that's what we're supposed to do. But I want to know what you learned this year. What's one thing maybe that surprised you that you learned about yourself, or about your teammates, or about your team, about your coaching staff, that you really sit back and you go, that was probably the top thing that I'm going to have a takeaway for moving into next season, or the way you do things from now on?
That's a really good question. I think that
that's why they pay me the big bucks, right?
Pressing questions. Yeah. I think the transition from boys to girls took a little while. The personality, not that I'm not being myself, but you just gotta say things a certain way. I told them when I got the job, I'll never lie to you. I'll never call you a name or get in your face or do any of that stuff, but I'm going to be honest. And I think that took a while for both of us to understand that. But again, I'd want somebody to be honest with me. I want my AD, my superintendent, to be honest with me. I mean, I think that's how you build trust and relationships. And so I think being honest with each other, I think that learning to be patient with a young group was something I needed to learn as the time went on. And then the physicality. I think that anything, at the end of the McKinley game, I told them, don't let this one game define you or your season. But it teaches us that to compete with these teams, like in the Federal League or in the tournament in general, we have to get more physical and bigger and stronger.
Coach, it goes without saying that we're incredibly proud of you. Being able to watch you come back into the ranks and really spread your wings as a Falcon has been an honor, a joy, and I'm looking forward to next season already. It's going to be a long 6, 7, 8 months or whatever it is till the basketball season again.
No, yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, November 21st, Asheville Lakeside at home, and we'll be preparing for that. And and it's been great, and we've enjoyed it. And but now I get to be daddy more, and I'll enjoy that even more. So even when we lose, I win.
There's no doubt in my mind that you are one of the best dads around, man. So just go do that, because that's always a joy, and that's less of a job. Not that coaching is necessarily a job, but you're a great father, a great husband, and a great role model, man. So keep doing what you do, and we'll be watching.
Thanks for doing what you do. Yeah, thanks a lot. Nice seeing you.
You got it, Jeff. We'll talk to you.
All right, buddy. Thanks.
There he goes. Jeff Wilson, one of the best there is. Just pure and simple, one of the best there is, and working overtime, getting the camera to turn on. And I appreciate his efforts there as well to make that happen, because this is live streaming, folks. This is what it's all about. We're flying without a net. So sometimes stuff happens, technical difficulties and things of that nature. But Jeff Wilson, one of those guys that's going to work hard for you, whether he's your coach, whether he's your dad, whether he's your friend. So appreciate Jeff coming on the show. Appreciate Chris Colucci and Michael Lally coming on the show. Appreciate all these great comments throughout the show. Chris Sigler with a good question there. We want to hear your questions throughout these shows. That's why we are your sports network and not our sports network. It's not my sports network. It is yours. So we want to hear your questions. Greg Burbick says, great show. Thank you, my friend. The cow still moves around here for you. And then, of course, as we do each and every show, we close it out with the Joe Dickey Electric, What's Your Spark? So without further ado, it's the Joe Dickey Electric, What's Your Spark? Presented by DickeyElectric.com. Joe Dickey Electric, proudly powering the Valley for over 60 years. All right, so my spark, I don't know how to even get this started. Not everything is rigged, okay? Watching the game last night, I thought it was a great football game. Not once did I think, stop to myself and think, oh, the NFL is doing this because this is script written, or, this is no. Like, that's what happens. Go watch a youth sports event, and guess what? There's some calls that are missed. There's some calls that are made that you're not going to like. That does not mean that it is written in Vegas that this is the way it's going to be, or written by Disney and this is the way it's going to be. Sometimes that's just the way things are. That's the way life happens, and it's not going to go your way all the time. So people complaining about the halftime show, people complaining about, oh, that's not really a hold, or this is a hold and that's not a hold. Listen, at the end of the day, it's sports. Sometimes the flag gets thrown, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the whistle gets blown, sometimes it doesn't. Doesn't mean it's rigged. I think we all need to take a step back and take a big old deep breath and let it out slowly and realize that just because we expect things to go our way does not mean that we have to sit there and cry and complain about every single call. If it's blatant, if it's absolutely blatant, the referee knows he did a bad job. And a lot of times it's reflected in a report after the game. Such is life, right? And a lot of times there's karma that goes into that. So if you get one call or you don't get one call, you're going to get it made up later down the line. Happens in hockey all the time. They call them makeup calls. Social media was flooded last night with just people's opinions, and that's what it's for. And I get it. I understand it. However, at the end of the day, my goodness, people, just enjoy the game. Like, have another nacho instead of opening your mouth and talking about how bad this game is and how much it's rigged and how much OBJ is oh, this is terrible. If OBJ would have done this in Cleveland, if OBJ, like, relax. He didn't. You cut him. He went and won a Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl champion. Odell Beckham Jr. is a Super Bowl champion, and you can't do anything about it. That's it. I mean, that's if I was on Twitter, that's the tweet, right there. So, yeah. So that is your Joe Dickey Electric. What's your spark? I can't put is it a positive spark? Or it's more of a negative spark, I guess. So we'll put a negative on that. And then we'll tie it up in a bow here on the Monday edition of the Ysn Power Hour. A great list of folks coming in this week to talk to. If there's anybody you want us to talk to, if you want us to reach out to and have an interview with them, please drop it in the comments in the chat box. We're happy to reach out to them and get them, at least try to get them on the show to help you and get your questions answered. So on behalf of all of us at YSN, that's going to do it for the YSN Power Hour for Monday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. We love you. We will see you next time on the YSN Power Hour tomorrow, 3 to 4, right here on your sports network. Peace. YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network.